So this pilgrimage to Cairo was called the initiation. And I will say that each of the women that joined this first retreat on on these big lands really went through it. The integration, the preparation really to arrive into Retreat Circle was quite immense. But we arrived, and we actually joined with my beautiful Earthwalker friend Louise Karen Harris. We joined with their group. Well, we intended to, but we were very much open to flow. So it's a new system in Cairo. If you've been previously, it's now like a hop on, hop off bus, and you get off with your group on the spot. So, Cairo, nothing can really be planned like by timing because of just the essence of what it is. There's waiting, there's busyness, there's people, there's noise, and it's really your job to find underneath the chaos and beauty, this calm. But anyway, we'd lost the group. We'd been separated from Lou's group. Two of the ladies in my group had said no, they're not going to enter the pyramid for different reasons. And I always, it's about trusting the intuition of the individual. In my retreats, there is no way I would say, no, we need to do this. So it's really about honoring their intuition as we walk these lands, because it's not about, you have to do this. So I really honored that. And as we were about to enter, I saw Lou's group sort of come. And we're all waving and cheering from the top. And we walked in, and before you enter sacred sites, there's always a threshold of the energy will shift. And, you're crouching, it's hot, you're sweating, there's so many people. It's like a compression going down and walking up the steps, and you got to climb and turn sideways, and you're rubbing sort of sweaty shoulders with strangers, but there's this connection because everyone's got this buzz, to them, and they help each other, and you don't even speak the same language, but it's that humility piece, isn't it? So we got to this certain point, and my body shifted. My body sort of prepares me. And so always I open my heart to enter the space. And it was like this wall with columns, and there's a slit underneath that you sort of climb down into, and then you come out into the chamber, the king's chamber. And, Egypt is very guarded, and I respect that. You cannot appear to be meditating, making sound. The chalice wasn't allowed in any of the spaces. So it's very we had sort of guards the whole time ushering us through these places. But in the Great Pyramid, I walked in with my group, and I had a vision many years ago of where to place our hand on the wall. And I took my group over to that place, and I could see in their eyes, one lady, she just had tears running down because the activation of her remembrance was turning on. And I showed them the place to put their hand on the pyramid wall. And she just said it was like a stargate opening and came directly into her heart and activated her heart. But in this time, the guide came over to me, and he put his hand on me, and he said, you need to meditate. Your group, you need to meditate. And it actually took me back. I did it's okay. And then I breathed in, and I was like, wow, that's permission, Rachel. That's permission. So we stood and we did a visioning of, imagine a world where everyone knew the power of their hearts, And as we did that, of course they received personal messages, but as we did that, I was allowed to tone. So I started toning and making the frequency. And then I felt my sister Lou come. And so we stood and sung them into the King's Chamber, which was really special because, you know, when you meet those people and you remember them and you just feel it in your bones, like, I know you. So that was really beautiful. So then both our groups joined to harmonize. And there was a really special moment where one of the members of Lou's, he stood there and I could see the voices harmonize. We hit 2 points together and I saw the energy run up his body and fully activate his eyes. It was really, really special for me. And then so we did that for a little bit and really anchored that higher vision. You know, in Cairo there's so much duality. There's everything. The polarity is palpable and all within the same sort of breath. So every human experience sort of comes together in Cairo and puts it on a plate for you to process and find your place within it. It's really profound. So holding that highest vision for humanity and opening your hearts and being in that energetic alignment. Because the pyramids, I don't believe they're fully on, but they are like acupressure points on the grids, on the earth grids. So when you stand on these energy centers and hold that energy, it's really amplifying. You know, they're amplifiers for the planet. So powerful what you bring in to pyramids because it's an amplifier. And then it was really beautiful. So we kind of like had a hug and we were like buzzing and it was really beautiful. And then the guide came and got me and walked me over and he said, stand here for 1 minute. And it was right in the center of the pyramid, of the point. And I looked him in the eye and I said, no, you need to stand with me, hold my hands. And I mean, that alone is kind of a big ask. Because of the culture, because of how it is there. And it was really beautiful. Without words, we just held hands, and it was me mirroring and opening my heart to him, a sacred guardian of one of the most powerful sites on the planet. And being a man and a woman and holding that template for humanity. He was a stranger, but he saw me and I saw him, but we needed to do it together. And that really is the truth of it. I didn't want to stand on that point by myself and bring in this light and activate it and do this whole thing. I wanted him to see how much I had reverence for him. So for me, if a traditional custodian of any land comes in and gives me permission, that really is everything for me. And when nothing is spoken and someone sees your heart, to then hold that for them so they get to, like I was bowing to him and his beauty and what he represents within the Giza Plateau. And so we stood in harmony, and in the beginning he couldn't look me in the eye, and by the end we just held each other's gaze in this highest octave, really for humanity. It was really a moment And then this is the funny part, hey? So we've had this incredible, like to have ceremony in the Great Pyramid, you normally have to pay, $2,500, get private entry. But when I think you walk in with such humility and an open heart, it's quite incredible how the guards allow, this alignment. And then one of the people in there said, Rachael, that was 11:11. You did that at 11:11. Like, you can't even make it up, can you? It's too beautiful. And so when we left, it was really beautiful. We kind of were sharing everyone's details, because each person has their own unique experience, and it's about then coming together and asking everyone to share their experience. And then we actually layer, and what you see is, my experience I just shared. But when I take and receive that and that and that and their experience, it creates the whole. And we need all of those pieces to tell the full story of what actually happened in there. Because yes, I'm guiding, but I'm only seeing it through this. So that was really rich. And so we shared, and then one of the ladies played a song because she felt one of our sisters back in Australia. So that was another activation. And she shared that she knew when we were coming out of the pyramid, because the ravens started circling and showing, and she said, oh, they're coming out now. And we came out. So if she had have gone into the pyramid, she wouldn't have been on the outside, sort of connecting to the wind and the ravens. So that was a beautiful blessing. And it's always bigger than us, and it's always divine. And then it was really funny. We sort of came out, and I was like, ice cream. We need ice cream. Like, we're standing outside in the heat, Great Pyramids. And this is the beauty of being so human after like quite a profound experience. Over in because they've redone it all, there was a Gelari ice cream shop with air conditioning. So like, it was just so beautiful. And that's the beauty of having these high spiritual experiences, these collective shifts and insights from these earth grids, and then like having a cry, having a laugh, and eating ice cream. Like, that to me is what it's about. So I wanted to share that, when you walk with an open heart, wherever you're walking, divine synchronicity opens up, and people, gatekeepers, energy gatekeepers, will see you. They will see your humility and give you more and open up more. The land will feel your presence in not a performative way. You perform, it doesn't get open. Come with this pure heart and see people for who they are, and so much more magic will open up in the land, with the people, wherever you travel. So that's my little sharing today. Thanks, Anna. I felt your words that you were sharing through that video. So now we're in the holy waters in England, in Bath, and we're just going to sit in the temple in luxury and meet the locals, hum when we get to hum, tender to one another when we need to tender to, and be in silence and let the waters just help us integrate a really beautiful chapter, a really beautiful seeding. So yeah, I can't wait to return to Cairo. It opened a whole new chapter for me. And before I went, I felt like I was stepping into my mastery, and one of the ladies asked me, but after making sound in the pyramid, I'm a baby. there is so much work to do, and so much growth to have, and everything shifted for me personally, but that's not for today. All right, my loves, have a beautiful day, whatever you are doing. And if you have any insights or layering or clarity, I'm open to hear your wisdom, your story.